Hello everyone and welcome back to Mongoli's Movie Show. Today we're taking a trip to the future. A future full of Costco megacities, electrolytes, and a presidential cabinet that would probably lose a fight to a vending machine. Yeah, we're talking about Idiocracy, Mike Judge's cult classic sci-fi comedy that somehow feels less like a satire and more like a documentary someone accidentally leaked ahead of schedule. So let's dive into this movie, the drama behind its release, why Fox basically pretended it didn't exist, how it found a second life as a fan favorite, and why the cast still hits so hard today.
At the dawn of the 21st century, the Army began a top-secret experiment.
Meet Joe Bowers, our first subject for the human hibernation experiment. As you know, this is highly classified. However, if successful, we believe humans can be stored indefinitely.
However, the trial run was prone to human error.
See you in a year.
And Joe slept slightly longer than expected. Half a millennium, to be exact. From Mike Judge, creator of Office Space and Beavis and Butthead.
Oh my God! Oh.
If you were the smartest person in the world...
This goes in your mouth. This one goes in your butt. Hang on a second. This one goes in your mouth.
And we're stuck with the dumbest people in history.
If you have one bucket that holds 2 gallons and another bucket that holds 5 gallons, how many buckets do you have?
2?
What would you do?
Excuse me, I'm actually supposed to be getting out of prison.
You're in the wrong line.
I'm the smartest guy in the world? Says who?
The IQ test you took in prison. You got the highest score in history.
Even smarter than President Camacho.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of America!
In the year 2505.
We got this guy. He's gonna fix everything. So you smart, huh?
The ordinary will be considered extraordinary.
I thought your head would be bigger.
Idiocracy.
For the smartest guy in the world, you're pretty dumb sometimes.
Idiocracy came out in 2006, and if you weren't paying attention, don't worry. Fox did everything in their power to make sure that you've never heard of it. The story follows Joe Bowers, the most average guy in the US military, played by Luke Wilson, who gets into a hibernation experiment and wakes up 500 years later. And he finds the society has, downgraded. A lot. Like, humanity's evolved into a bunch of people who treat advertising slogans like scripture and think watering crops with sports drinks is common sense. And the wild part? Watching it now feels closer to reality than Mike Judge probably intended. Idiocracy wasn't just quietly released, Fox buried it. Mike Judge has mentioned for years that the studio just straight up didn't want to promote this film. No trailer push, no marketing budget, no big poster rollout. They released it in a tiny handful of cities with basically zero advertising. It was like Fox said, yeah, this movie makes fun of corporations and stupidity, and we are a corporation, so maybe we just don't. There was even talk that Fox was uncomfortable with how many real brands this movie used in its not so flattering way. You know, like Costco just becoming a literal city-state, or Starbucks offering services that definitely are not on their real menu. They apparently didn't want any drama from the companies they did business with. Fuddruckers, Carl Jr.'s, Mountain Dew, Starbucks, American Express, and Costco are all real corporations that Fox has dealings with. So, of course they don't want to go after them as hard as this movie does. If anything, it's kind of a miracle this movie was ever made or released at all. So, instead of giving it a proper release, Fox just kind of shoved it out the door and hoped no one noticed. But here's the thing about movies that get buried. They have a tendency to dig themselves back up, and Idiocracy didn't just dig itself up, it came back with a shovel and a cult following. Word of mouth kept this movie alive. It spread through DVD sales, online clips, late night rewatches, and that classic recommendation we all get from a friend, dude, have you seen Idiocracy? It's way too real. Over the years, the movie basically became a shorthand for the direction society feels like it's heading. Every time there's a weird political moment, a baffling news story, or a trend that seems to drop everyone's IQ by 20 points, someone somewhere goes, man, Mike Judge warned us. The film has maybe one of the funniest openings I've ever seen in a comedy, where it starts off with a well-to-do couple who's a little too smart for their own good, debating when is the right time to have children, and then it cuts to Clevon, who's having as many children as he can with as many women as he can, which is, of course, what is leading to the downfall of society.
Having kids is such an important decision.
We're just waiting for the right time. It's not something you want to rush into, obviously.
No way.
shit, I'm pregnant again.
Shit. I got too many damn kids. Thought you was on the pill or some shit.
Hell no.
Must have been thinking of Brittany.
Brittany?
Luke Wilson plays the perfect straight man here. He's not trying to be the funniest guy in the room. He's just reacting like a normal, confused human being dropped into a world where common sense died centuries ago. He plays Joe Bowers, the most average person the American military could find. He and Maya Rudolph's characters Rita are supposed to be cryogenically frozen for 1 year, but through a series of unfortunate events, they end up being frozen for 500 years. They wake up and we follow average Joe as he is now the smartest person on Earth. He quickly finds himself in the White House with 1 week to solve all of America's problems, but when he suggests that they water the crops instead of spraying Brondo all over them,
but Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Brondo's stocks go down and the country turns on him real quick. Maya Rudolph as Rita is a hard one for me. I don't think Maya Rudolph is bad, she just isn't really given anything to do. Most of the film she's just following Joe around, and her 2 running bits are just kind of meh for me. I don't think this is Maya's fault, she just isn't the star and she's kind of an afterthought. In the end, she ends up married to Joe, and for all intents and purposes, it's just because they're both from the past. I get absolutely no chemistry from either of them whatsoever. You've also got Dax Shepard playing Frito, giving one of his best performances as a man who really hasn't had a thought in 15 years.
On next on the Violence Channel, an all-new Alma Balls.
He's very funny and he's very understated, and there's one scene in particular where they're running away from the police, they get out of their car and climb into an alley, or run into an alley, and the police just start shooting the car, even though you can tell there's nobody in it and the car explodes, and Dax is cheering the police on as they blow up his vehicle, because, you know, explosions are cool.
What the hell's wrong with you? That's your car.
Oh, hell yeah!
Terry Crews plays President Dwayne Elizondo Mountain Dew Camacho, and it is easily the standard of this movie. Whether you draw ties from him to the current administration or not, the idea of a pro wrestler turned commander-in-chief and using a machine gun to silence his naysayers is pretty damn funny. His performance in this film just proves why he's a comedic genius and should be in a lot more films. The cast works because they all lean into the absurdity without ever winking at the camera. They play it straight, and it's hilarious. Watching Idiocracy in 2025 is interesting. The movie was meant to be exaggerated satire. Like, obviously society wouldn't get that dumb that fast, right? Right? But life caught up to this movie in a way that are both hilarious and a little uncomfortable. Corporations swallowing everything? Check. Attention span shrinking? Check. Anti-intellectualism? Partial check. Political leaders who feel they wandered in off the set of a reality TV show? Check. The funniest part is that Mike Judge has said that he didn't want this movie to become some kind of prophecy. And yet, every year, the internet digs it up and goes, hey, is this still a comedy? It's become this weird cultural touchstone, a measuring stick that we use to see how ridiculous the real world has actually gotten. So yeah, Idiocracy started as a movie that the studio tried to hide, but over time it became one of the most iconic cult comedies ever made, and arguably one of the most relevant. It's hilarious, it's weird, it's clever, and it has this grim little heart underneath the jokes that says, maybe we should try and do better. If you've never seen it or haven't revisited it in a while, do yourself a favor and go give it a watch. Just, you know, maybe don't watch it right after reading the news. The comparison can get a little too real. I didn't love Idiocracy, but I do think that it's worth your time, both as a comedy and as a cautionary tale. Thank you so much to It's You for signing up at the director level of the Patreon and asking me to do this film for him. I had a blast watching it, and I had fun making this video, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well. If you did enjoy the video and you made it this far into it, you probably did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons so that I see you in the next one.